You work hard. So does your equipment. You can't afford to stop. So when a hose or fitting lets go, you need to know there's someone around to get you back up and running fast. No matter where you are or what time it is, your local NZ hose doctor will be there. With an extensive network all around the country, chances are we're not that far away. You work hard at what you do, and at NZ, we work hard to keep you going. NZ, on call 24/7.
Just wanted to touch on, you've obviously, you're always one of the first picked with a lot of representative cricket. Did you want to maybe take us through, obviously, some of the great, players that you played with from the region that you travelled with, and obviously your sort of enemies, for the majority of the year, but you travelled to probably the Melbourne, Canberra, Wagga, these sorts of things, and maybe even, I think, did you play against WA at Lavie one day? So maybe some of the really good players you played against?
Yeah, look, players, against first. As a young fellow, I got the opportunity to get picked in a New South Wales under-21 City v Country game. It was at Bankstown Oval. So first time on an aeroplane, didn't know anything about it. Grew up in Baroora, no idea, and come here, jumped on one of the old ENZED airplanes here at the Albury Airport and got up in the sky, and something that flew past the window, and then I worked out that was a cloud. Okay, I got that. Yeah, that wasn't great. But anyway, I was still trying to drag me. I reckon I left a fair dent in the seat in front of me with me knuckles. I was a bit nervous. But yeah, Bankstown Oval, we rocked up there, and we were actually captained by Brad Haddon in that game. But the opposition team, Brett Lee, Nathan Bracken, Dom Thornley was actually in that side as well. So some great players, some great talent. And we actually, day two of that game, we actually had a car accident on the way to the ground. And Simon Moore from Newcastle, Maury's a great fella and still involved with cricket, Smithy, as you know. He was driving the car and went around a roundabout, and there was a car about 4 up, had stopped suddenly and crashed into another car, and crash. There was about 5 cars in it. Brett Lee was actually in the car in front of us, and the little Nissan Pulsar that he was in just folded up, and we didn't really know what the damage was, and he was only a young fellow, so before he came on the scene, but still bowling super fast, and we'd all sort of stayed at the same hotel, even though we were playing against each other. So we were late by about an hour to the game and rock up in a police car. It probably didn't look great, so that was a bit of an experience. But yeah, got fortunate to get a few runs and a few wickets in that game, so that was great to play there and look at the honour boards and Steve Waugh, Mark Waugh, all that sort of thing at Bankstown. So great work. And then obviously, playing against WA was, I know Steve Wood holds that pretty high in his books. Exactly the same, to finish up, playing against those guys that you've watched on TV and see how good they are. And I think Murray Goodwin got 100 that day. That's how good, he was outstanding. But, Hussey and, Joe Angel and Brendan Julian, and they were just, Ryan Campbell. They were out awesome. And then I guess you played against the Masters, which I think there's still footage floating around of me getting hit over the grandstand at Lavington twice, 2 balls in a row.
We're going to spare you for that one, so it's very, very honest and noble of you.
Yeah, so that was a good one. But the third ball did actually get Brendan Drew out. But yeah, to have Wayne Holdsworth and these guys play up here, it's obviously, you grew up as a kid watching them on TV. That was a good honour. But then the guys that you play with, so bus trips to Canberra for Conacher Cup, we play 80 overs on a Saturday afternoon, and we'd rush home, have a shower, grab some tea somewhere, and we'd get on a bus and drive to Canberra that night. That's it. That's what we did. And, Woody Bardo, Lloyd Anderson, Andrew Lade, just quality players, quality blokes, and you get to learn about them. They get to learn about you, and you go, these guys are actually, they're okay. They're good fellas, and they're normal. And, they play it hard on Saturday. But, geez, they're just normal blokes. And they're, if I can encourage any about junior rep cricket, come and play it. You'll meet mates you'll have forever. And some of the funny things, Kay Brown, he played a lot of cricket, in Canberra, and we go to Melbourne Country Week, and funny things would happen. Gary Elliott, just characters of the game, and cricket's a real character sport, and it was outstanding that I got to play. Fortunate enough to get to play with a lot of these guys, and then you go away with your own club mates as well. Dean Carroll, Kano, and Darshkas, these guys that we've been around, with for years. And then later on, your ballies, tonkies that you used to lock horns with, they're sitting next to you on the bus, having a red bear or something on the way home, or that's just how it was. And we used to be mates. And used to be a lot of games of cricket against good opposition, and geez, I didn't like it, but we just used to show up, show our talents, and hook right in. And cricket or Wodonga and the old Albury and Border Cricket Association. Yeah, there's a long history there of some good wins against some quality teams.
Well, wind the clock forward to now, mate. Saw a bit of a photo with you and Westy. Obviously you got your 100, but we dodged that pretty quickly. But
we did.
More importantly, with yourself and Westy and Rowdy playing in the C1, C2 division, and more importantly, playing with your son, must be an absolute thrill to play with Sam on the Saturday. You come back a couple of years, you had a 4 or 5 year hiatus, and then come back, and you would have loosened up some of the hamstrings going around there and huffing and puffing and bowling your 8 overs and feeling the first slip. Give us a bit of an experience about that, and coming back and playing now, with those type of blokes. And Westy hitting 50 off not many on the weekend, and give us a bit of an insight to that.
Yeah, well, I'm not allowed to feel and slip anymore because Dean Carroll's back playing with us, so he gets a chance. Mind you, he's got a crook leg, so that's fair enough. I'm just overweight, so there you go. So, but look, I come back to have a hit with Sam. They were short. They won Thursday night a couple of years ago, and I said, "Yeah, look, I'll have a hit." And Sam's eyes just lit up. He was still playing juniors. He's nearly 17. I think he's turned 17 on Friday. But a couple of years ago, it was just front up, take our peanut butter sangers, our bottles of water, our chairs, our bags, and just sit under a tree and just say, "Righto, what are we doing? Are we batting, we bowling?" You don't have to prepare a wicket. You don't have to put out hats. Don't have to put out stumps. You didn't have to do any of that, which was great. But it was just a matter of focusing on spending time with Sam on a Saturday and just enjoying the time, because I think when you get to and it's. I'm trying to teach Westy, Aaron West, and Dean Carroll the same thing as when you get to the lower grades, it's about having fun. Absolutely, it's about having fun, but it's about trying to teach young kids that there's more to cricket than just playing the game. There's, if we're sitting around for rain, what do? We hang it on each other, or we just talk absolute rubbish, and trying to keep things as normal as possible, but trying to keep the fun side of it as well. And I said to Westy, we were trying to talk to him this year about playing. He was umming and ahhing. He didn't know whether he could. And I said, "Mate, if you just put the blinkers on and just worry about playing cricket with Elijah, your son, having fun with us, nothing else matters." And he did it against Corowa a few weeks ago, had an absolute ball on Saturday to be able to be their front seat up the other end and watch him just hit balls around everywhere. I think he blocked the first ball. The second ball went over the goalpost at Xavier 2, right down near the nets. And I'm like, fair dinkum. You can't be serious. Aaron West hits the ball harder than I've ever seen anybody in my cricket career. He is the hardest hitting batsman I've ever seen. And just the fun side of things that we're having at the moment with our sons and with their mates and some of the young kids, mums, dads, brothers, sisters, grandparents, all there on the weekend. It's just a fun time, and I guess we're trying to make it easy for guys to go forward with their cricket, C1s, seconds, seniors, whatever it is in the years to come. Just take that fun with them.
Should throw in your good mate Thursday there too. The three quicks, and you're doing a bit of coaching with him. Just wanted to final one from me, Naughto, was what do you think Paddies need to do to win the next A grade premiership?
I think they need to be just open and honest with each other, work hard. We weren't working hard when we won ours. We lost a couple of premierships. As I said, Mick O'Donnell come on board and made us work hard, but then Aaron West originally took over from Mick, and he just got us working. We were doing things that some other clubs weren't, and we knew that we'd done the work. They just need to work super hard, and we've got this sort of saying, it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. Now, that simply means every club trains, every club's got a uniform, everyone's got a wicket. It's how you arrive at the ground. It's not how you do all your driving during the week and training. I think they've just got to be focused on rocking up at the ground, knowing that they're good enough, and just got to commit really commit. So Braden Hensel had a great saying: commitment and morale equals performance. And we took that into our games of cricket when I was captain, when Dean Carroll still takes that into games. You know, if you commit to each other and you can stare each other into the eyes before, during, and after, during's a big one, and after, and you've got your good morale after the game, during the game, before the game, in the rooms, the scoreboard look after itself. So I think they need to stick to that, and they'll be super competitive. They made a prelim last year. T20 doesn't suit them. Let's see how they go in the 50 overs for the rest of the year.
And one for me, mate. Where do you see cricket going for the area? Like, obviously, all the development with the sports centre, and 5 years' time, what can you see happening in CAW cricket? And where do you see it there?
I can see T20 being played midweek, maybe a Tuesday night instead of training, because then you won't have to ask players to come an extra night. A couple of pools, so you don't play 9 games. I think there's 10 teams. There could be more teams coming in the next few years. We're actually talking to a couple of teams that clubs have approached us about coming in. I think if we have a couple of pools playing a Tuesday night T20s, the 50 over competitions, I think, is here to stay. How I don't think we'll ever see the 80 over game come back, because that's the way it is. It's tough on curators and early starts and that sort of thing with the 50 over contest, but I think we're going to get our head around that. But I think the development of these kids, it's we just got to make what we've got at the moment. It's pretty hard to create a test match player if we're not playing a long format. So I reckon that's off the table. Right? There's no point even talking about that because we're not going to do it. T20, that's a different scenario. Robbie Jackson's just gone down to Melbourne Renegades. Super proud of what he's doing, and loving life and loving his dream. He's going to bring some things back, and he'll hopefully pass that on to us at 17 to sort of 23-year-old person who might be looking to go down to Melbourne and say, look, you're a chance. So, but yeah, 2 or 3 years' time, I think we'll still be ticking along very similar to what we're doing. The hub, all the grass is down, the outside nets are all nearly ready to go for next season. There'll be a lot of carnivals and that sort of thing here. And cricket or Wodonga certainly on the map. Don't worry about that.
Hey, Nora, let's end this one on a lighter note. Can you confirm the story? Mick O'Donnell one day found fish and chip wrappers, sim wrappers, and empty stubbies on the wicket one Saturday morning when he rocked up to inspect the wicket. Did you want to expand on that one?
Well, I'll try and keep this one brief because I'm not sure who told you about that one, but this is it's true. We're out there rolling the wicket there one night, and had a phone call. Kane and Casey and Darchkas were on their way to lend a hand. Now, there's only one seat on the roller, so I'm not sure how they're going to lend a hand. But anyway, we're out at the old Xavier 1 where the school is now. And Kane's had a job in town, and he's bought the company ute. And anyway, there was a little six-pack of refreshments and about 25 dim sims and about $8 worth of hot chips. And anyway, that's how they came to support, just moral support. Anyway, we're parting along on the roller, and Kane goes, how hard's the wicket? I said, oh, yeah, it's hard enough, mate. He goes, yeah, but how hard is it? So we went and got his ute, and he drove straight down the middle of the wicket and tested how hard it was. And by this stage, we're about 15 dim sims in each, and there's wrappers and there's just bits of fish and chip paper all around the wicket table. There's empty stubbies everywhere. And by this time, it was pretty dark. And anyway, I said to Kane, I said, can I just fill your car up full of grass clippings? I just want to cut the other wickets. He goes, yeah, no worries. So anyway, he's got the ute, filled it up, and we've gone out to the old Xavier 2, which is now Xavier 1. That used to have the synthetic on it. And he goes, oh, do you need a rake or something to get the grass clippings out? I said, no, what you do, just drop the tailgate and just drive straight down the middle of the ground and all the grass will just fly out. I said, I've seen it down the road, like it just fly out. So we're doing that about 10 or 15 times, just flying around the oval with the tailgate down. Grass is going everywhere. Next minute, security comes in. And I said to Kane, I said, look, just leave this to me. We'll sort it out. Just pull up next to the wicket. So anyway, I pulled up next to the wicket, and I started, I had the hose going, and we're just looking at the synthetic wicket, and security comes out and says, oh, what's going on, boys? We said, oh, we're just getting ready for cricket tomorrow. And Bloke goes, yeah, no worries, looks nice and hard. And well, he's looking at concrete, of course it's hard. But anyway, we got away with that one. But the next day, Mick O'Donnell, we left then because we thought, well, we're a bit scared. We'll go get out of here. The next day, Mick O'Donnell's beat me out to Xavier, and he's found all the empty stubbies and fish and chip wrappers, and he's just going off his dial. Like, I've never seen it before. He's fuming. And he's going, oh, you know, the local riffraff, he said, you know, they come here and they destroy the place, and apparently there's skid marks on the other ground. And he said there's grass, you know, they've mowed their lawns and dropped grass everywhere, and there's dim sim wrappers, and there's, you know, there's bloody BB stubbies everywhere. He said, I'm sick of this, you know. He said, I'm going to sleep out here next week. And we're all looking at each other. And you know what? Mick O'Donnell actually doesn't know that it was us that did it. So, yeah, sorry, Mick, but yeah, it sure was a local riffraff, mate. It was three of the guys that you coach, mate. So there you go.
Very good. Naughton, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to catching up in the future.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for having me, and yeah, all the best.
Thanks, Naughton.
Thank you.